Hey guys, it's about, what time is it? About 12:45 on the 16th of February. Got out of work a little early today, so I got a couple hours here before a basketball game to figure out if I can get this bonnet adjusted. So like I had left off in my last video, there's two pivot tubes, they're called, inside the bonnet that provide support and obviously a little bit of adjustment. I'm going to loosen those pivot tubes up, their attachment points, and see how much adjustment I can get out of it. Not really confident, frankly, that this is going to work because I need to drive the bonnet back, and to be able to drive it back I have to twist it, which is going to only draw this side further away. So it's not working out in my head, so I'm not sure that it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. So fingers crossed. Alright, so the plot thickens a little bit. Those pivot tubes don't really pivot that much, so I kind of snugged them back up. I really didn't get any motion whatsoever out of that, at least not anywhere near enough to make a difference. A couple guys mentioned that on the forum, so I was kind of hoping. But anyway, so what I did is try to make some reference points to make sure that my bulkhead wasn't crooked potentially. So I measured from the bulkhead here to about where this shock tower starts on both sides, and I got about 9 7/8 inches on the passenger side and about 9 3/4 inches or 6/8 on this side. So 1/8 of an inch, not a lot, not too much, or not too much to cause my problem, I don't think, at least a better gap than that. What I did do that was a little bit more interesting is I measured from this seam here through the wheel arch to the top of the wheel arch there, and I did the same thing on the other side. I got a 1/2 inch difference between those two. I mean, that's crazy huge to me. So I don't really see any obvious construction differences or anything like that that would be causing that. But that's, a 1/2 inch would make all the difference in the world, obviously, and would allow me to bring the bulkhead all the way up to the sail plate. So I'm not too sure what's going on there, but that's the string I'm going to pull now, so we'll see. All right, well, I loosened the body up again, moved that all over the place, took every bolt out. I'm confident that the body is not the cause here. Just the measurements I took and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that I could free float the body. The bulkhead just doesn't appear like it's crooked or bent or anything like that, especially compared to the other side. So I'm, never say never, but I essentially ruled that out. So I beat the living crap out of this poor fender flare here, banged it down and tried to suck that 1/2 inch difference up a little bit. The difference in the lengths. I got the black cars bonnet at home. I'll take a tape measure out there and compare the wheel arches and see if they're the same. I thought maybe this is a different bonnet or something like that from factory, but I doubt it because scraping the paint provides the same look that, sorry I got the shadow there, provides the same look that it did when I've scraped the paint off everywhere else with the magenta or the deep red and the signal red underneath of that. So I think the bonnet's original. Anyway, I'm going to pause it. I'll drop the bonnet down and show you the gap that I have in the respective areas with it beaten. All right, so that's the gap that I got now on this side. That's the driver's side. This is the passenger side over here, which is a little easier. So this drill bit here is right about 5 millimeters. So the gap there, I'm looking at about, you can see, got a little bit of wiggle in there. So I've got 7 millimeters or so. That's pretty consistent all the way across. It gets a little wide here in the middle, but the middle also presses down a little bit. So I don't know what to do about that. Sprung maybe, I'm not too sure. I should be able to play with that. So a little bit wider here. I'm looking at maybe, 8 or 9 millimeters, but definitely better than the 12 millimeters or 13 millimeters that it was. So progress. And obviously I can still have some room on the fender there. You can see that it's not touching the arch, whereas on the other side I've only got about 1 or 2 more millimeters, which frankly is all I would really need. So I still got quite a bit of adjustment room there. Not really any distance now between the bulkhead and the fender without banging more. But I haven't removed any metal yet, so that's always an option as well, is to remove some metal there. You know, who knows? Maybe that's all this was, but it just seems kind of weird that I'm getting a ½ an inch of difference there. So anyway, there we go. That's what I'm going to look at for now. I'm going to throw the door up and see what my gaps look like with the door, and then either run away screaming and crying because the gaps aren't any better, or a little bit more confident that I might be able to get this puppy in there yet. So we'll see. Hold on. All right, so I used a floor jack and a piece of wood, held up the bottom of the door, and got the door pretty much tightened down. I think this is the gap at the bottom here, still a little closer than I want, probably only 2 or 3 millimeters, and I still have that big, huge thing up there. But the pinstripes line up, assuming that the car is put together right with the pinstripes. Obviously not factory, because they're on top of the red paint. But anyway, so pretty happy with the way the door shuts and opens. I'm not doing anything. No assistance required. So it doesn't sound great, but I don't have any felt or whatever, the fur patch things, whatever the heck those are called, door rubber, whatever you call, gasket. But yeah, so that's pretty good. What I haven't done yet, however, the big test, is put down the bonnet. So we're going to do that. Excuse me while I walk in front of you here. We're going to put down the bonnet, and you and I and all of our closest friends, we're going to watch here at the same time, see what this gap looks like as I lower the bonnet. And I'm afraid to see it, but we're going to see here how this looks. So that's, if anything, the doors are not going to come further forward much at all. So excuse me while I walk in front of you again. Let's see what happens. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a beautiful sight. All right, so this is, I still don't have the clips in here. It's obviously a little bit crooked. Gap closes up as I go down, but I definitely can't fit my fingers in there anymore. So I'm really happy about that. Where's my bit? So the drill bit here, let me make sure I'm actually looking at you here. Yep, so the drill bit here, I don't know, about 7 millimeters at the top here, which is consistent with the gap that I've got here. So if I scooch that in this way, I imagine I'll close that up. But then obviously I'm going to have problems as the door comes down. I'm closing up. So what that tells me potentially is that the door needs to kind of rotate back a little bit. But if I do that, it ain't going to fit. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So I got a little bit of time left. I think about 10 or 15 minutes left before I got to get home. So since I'm here, I think we're going to throw the sill up real quick, and then I'll shoot a quick video of that, and then that'll be it for the day. So hold on, and let me get that thing up there. It should take just a couple minutes. And I should say it should take just a couple minutes, like you guys. It's not going to take a second and a half. So silly me. All right, so actually I've decided to let you watch with me. See how this goes here. If I say any bad words, I apologize. So I can see here already there's still a big gap at the bottom here. Not the door bottom, but the here. That's going to be big. And obviously this whole thing needs to come back several millimeters, which actually may be similar to the problem that I was seeing on the other side. So we'll put the sill down, or excuse me, the bonnet down. Yeah, so that doesn't really line up all that well, does it? So then it looks like looks like the sill needs to come back a good, heck, 4 millimeters, maybe 5 millimeters, half a centimeter or so. And the problem with that is I'm right up against the seam here in the back. I don't know if you can see that on camera where I'm pointing at. I think I'm off shot there. Yeah. So so that's where I'll leave it for today. Let me pick the camera up here, make you sick, so you can kind of see. I'll show you pretty much right on that seam there, where the lower part of the wing meets with the sill. But again, that may be similar to what I was seeing on the other side. So thankfully, I think for the most part, I got the bonnet problem licked. Obviously, it's a little crooked. I can adjust the height on that, I think, here in the front using that top hinge. Lift up a little bit on that, though it's pretty high already. That may tend to straighten the bonnet up a little bit. Back here and kind of rotate it this way, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But we'll see. So that's it. So I'm going to head home. Thanks for joining me for a little quickie after work. So hope to get over here tomorrow. Sunday they're calling for snow. Saturday night into Sunday they're calling for a good shot of snow. So Sunday's a wash as far as trying to get over here anyway. But there you go. So please keep the subscriptions coming. I've still got quite a ways to go. Probably I'm not going to make it, but that doesn't mean that I won't in the future. So I appreciate you guys supporting the channel by subscribing and by liking. So yeah, visit the website. I put a new blog post up last night, www.roundtailrestoration.com. New blog post on what I struggled with the other day with the fitment that I just kind of came through a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, if I don't see you tomorrow, or even if I do, have a good weekend. Enjoy, for those of you that have a 3 or 4 day weekend, enjoy that. My kids have Monday and Tuesday off. Pretty jealous because I don't have any days off. But so yeah, happy President's Day. Enjoy your time off if you have it. And if not, please enjoy your weekend. Cheers.